Hey, I'm Bill Meeks, and this is Hey You, What's Up?
I like you a lot. Do you like me a lot? We like a lot of the same stuff, so why don't we hang out?
Hey Joel, what's up?
Not too much, man. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. I pulled you on here from Twitter, just kind of threw it out there randomly. I'm guessing you're probably wondering what this show is that you're appearing on right now.
That is a question on my mind, yeah.
Yeah, it would be. Oh, your sound quality got way better. Like all of a sudden there. Did you have like a different mic on or something?
Nope, shouldn't be. Maybe my computer's just having a fit.
Or connection or something. Okay, well, basically the show, which it will probably be coming out a couple weeks after we record this, it's called Hey You, What's Up? And the basic premise of it is I call someone I know, like you, Joel, and I just say, hey, Joel, what's up? And we start talking, and we just kind of take it off from there, and I cut it off at a very hard 12 minutes. I will hang up on you, so be prepared for that.
Good to know. So we're sitting at a pristine 58 seconds right now.
Yeah. So we're already 1/12 of the way through, which is pretty amazing.
Wow. That's a short podcast. I should do more of these.
I know, right? Because one, there's no prep for me, which is great. And two, really two, then it's just a real small little section of the day. So even if someone's like, I don't know, messed up on Quaaludes or something, they could still hop on for 12 minutes, right?
The most interesting 12 minutes of your life.
Exactly.
Oh,
we can only hope we have an episode that interesting.
Well, yeah. Well, I wasn't doing any drugs, but I did just get off Skype with Howard Porter, and that was fun.
Oh, really? What were you talking to Howard Porter about?
So Howard was on Comics Coast to Coast tonight with myself, Brian Dunaway, and Steven Schleicher from Major Spoilers. And for those of you that are listening that don't know, Howard Porter draws for DC Comics, and he's currently drawing Superman Beyond and Justice League 3000.
Nice.
Yeah, so we were interviewing him, and I had the pleasure of actually meeting him in person earlier this summer at Intertacular. And after meeting myself and Brian and Matt as well, actually, he ended up checking out the show. He became a fan. And then when we found out he was a fan, we're just like, well, that means you have to come on the show. We're all excited to have our ticket into DC.
Oh, sorry. You guys have been talking about like Saturday morning cartoons and stuff over there lately, haven't you? I think I've been seeing a little bit of that. I haven't checked it out, but
yeah, no, we had a couple holes where I wasn't able to fill guests for the show. So having Matt on the show as an animator, we just thought it would be fun to kind of get some topical stuff in for where he's kind of really zoned in on. And we all watched, cartoons, obviously, as kids. But we did two specials. One was the Saturday morning show, which ultimately ended up being as much about the cereal we were eating as it was about the cartoons we were watching. And then the other show was the after school specials, the after school cartoons that we used to watch.
Like after school specials, like, again, going back to drugs, someone taking LSD and jumping out of a window, or was it more just the after school, like Disney afternoon kind of thing?
More like the afternoon block. Yeah, no, I misspoke when I said specials.
It's just like, when I hear after school special, and, if someone's out there listening to this and they're, just a couple years younger than me, they probably have no association whatsoever. But you probably have the same. I don't know if they had them in Canada or not, but like ABC, NBC, they would do like these big polemic, like anti-drug, anti-bullying, anti-this, anti-that.
The more you know.
Kind of propaganda films. And I believe actually that's where Helen Hunt got her start. I just picture someone like having just taken LSD, jumping out of a classroom window or something like that. I can fly. But you were talking to Howard. Oh, go ahead.
Well, for us in Canada, there was a robot named Astro or A-Star or something, and she was doing a bunch of acrobatics through a dangerous factory, and she lost her arm, and she would put it back on and say, "I'm a robot. I can put my arm back on. You can't. Play safe." It was one of those. It was more like a commercial more than an actual film, but yeah.
But that is absolutely horrible. Like that would mess with me as a kid.
They were really. It was really kind of. It was basically like stay off the train tracks or you're going to die. Like it was all very morbid stuff.
They don't cut corners in Canada. They don't. Well, I mean, I guess when you have like a What's Kevin Smith making films about up there right now? Like Killer Moose or something like that?
Well, the other thing too is, I mean, like it gets rural in a heartbeat up here. So I mean, you have to be careful around, farm equipment and train tracks and all that kind of stuff.
Snow, which is
Yeah.
the silent killer. Snow.
And it's snowing in Alberta right now.
Nice. So you have Howard Porter as a fan of your podcast and stuff now. That's pretty cool, though.
That's very cool, actually. I was really flattered after meeting him at Nerdtacular. He actually bought one of my books, which is very
nice.
cool
One of
and
the
very nice.
Starcross books, or
Yeah, one of my Starcross books. Yeah, it was very cool. And then I started tweeting out. We've had some really good guests on the show recently. John Kovalik, who does the art for Munchkin. Daniel Liska, who does the Wormworld Saga. Which is an online graphic novel. And Howard's been vocal on Twitter saying like, hey, cool, this all sounds like really good stuff. You guys are doing really good interviews. And he's been listening while he draws. So once I saw that on Twitter, I just zeroed right in. I'm just like, ooh, we've got to have you on the show, man. And it was great fun because he's been drawing comics since 95 with a couple breaks here and there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I know I've read like 6 billion comics that he's written, or not written, rather drawn. But
Drawn,
I can't.
yeah.
I'm trying to think of any off the top of my head. I need to pull up. I need to Google.
He did a JLA run. He did a Flash run. Like I mentioned, he's doing Justice League 3000 right now. What else has he done?
Justice League 3000. That's the one that it's kind of like what replaced the Legion of Superheroes for the New 52 or something like that.
Yeah, basically, I only just started reading it for the interview, and I've only gone through the first couple issues, so the secrets have not been revealed to me as of yet. But what I've got so far is that it is a distant future. The universe is in chaos. The Five are the villains, and so the Wonder Twins have cloned, or as they say, regenerated from Cadmus Labs DNA samples, Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, and the Flash. But they're not all just straight up clones because Superman doesn't have the upbringing of the Kent farm. Batman doesn't have the memory of his parents.
Like the
Flash,
nature versus nurture kind of.
yeah, Flash gets motion sick. Wonder Woman is psychotic. She's more Amazon than woman. It's very much like Hulk smash with attitude. Green Lantern. Oh, Green Lantern doesn't have a ring. It's his cape that does all the work for him. And he's the last one, so he's got all the green power in the universe is all his to command. So
I was about to say, like, Green Lantern, it seems like cloning him would be kind of silly because he gets the power from the ring, right? But I guess
Yeah.
the cape now.
Yeah, well, and it's more about the personality, I guess. Like the hero, there still has to be a hero to wield the ring, and in some versions of Green Lantern, which is now news to me, Hal Jordan becomes the Spectre, which I didn't know.
Oh yeah, and that happened after what was it, Emerald Twilight, when he killed all the Green Lanterns, and he ended up becoming this bad guy named Parallax, which you might know that name. It became
From the movie,
sort of. Yeah, and became sort of like a big entity villain thing that powered the Yellow Lanterns later on. But he became this villain named Parallax, which he was kind of possessed by this entity, and he killed the entire Green Lantern Corps, and then he tried to reset the timeline in the DC universe during 0 Hour back in like 1993 or 94.
Wow!
And then when they did the what was it called, Final Night, where the sun went out. He sacrificed his life to reignite the sun. And because he went out with the whole heroic sacrifice thing, God was like, hey, you want to be my spirit of vengeance? And he was like, yeah, cool. And it was a couple of years. It was a really good series, actually.
Yeah, what I find so amusing. Series. Yeah, no, it sounds good. What I find amusing is that as the Spectre, he still has the mask on. The Green Lantern mask. It's like you're dead. Your secret identity is you're dead. It doesn't matter
you don't
anymore.
need it anymore, man.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. I guess it's just easier to draw.
Yeah, plus that way they don't have to come up with some convoluted thing when he comes back and everyone knows his identity.
Yeah.
I think I remembered where I knew Howard Porter's name from so distinctly. He did a series with Judd Wennick back in 2006 and 2007 called The Trials of Shazam.
Yes.
And I remember it being very cool because it was very like, I remember reading like a couple of interviews with him from around the time he was working on sort of like a Photoshop technique, and it was kind of like he used Photoshop to make his pencils and everything look like painting almost.
Yeah, the stuff that I was looking at earlier as well. He's got a technique where he does really tight pencils and then scans them in, and then inks digitally. But then because he inks digitally, he's got the opportunity to then color his ink lines. I think a lot of his work right now, at least the credits on the DC books, say that they're being colored by a studio, like a hi-fi coloring or something. But I know that he's done some of his own work before too.
Okay, Joel. Before I told you I am going to hang up on you, but we are coming up close to time, so I wanted to give you a quick chance to go ahead and plug anything you'd like to send people to if they want to know more about you.
Oh, wow. Well, check out my comic. I draw a weekly comic strip called Starcrossed at starcrossedonline.com. And right underneath the comic is a link to my Patreon page, and that's how everybody that likes the comic can tip me in the hat and help me make more.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I definitely encourage all of our 3 listeners at this point. This is an early episode to do that.
That's okay. It's 3 more readers,
fine,
right?
Man. Yeah, exactly. Now, okay, I guess we have about a minute left here. So I guess really the main thing I need to ask is, when are you going to have me back on your show, Joel? It's been a while.
Well, you know what? It's been a while because the Citadel Cafe went away for the summer. I took a break because I had to focus on the comic, and being the line producer for Comics Coast to Coast is actually quite busy. So I needed some time to get ahead on that. But
we have to wrangle Dunaway, right? So
yeah. Well, yeah, it's like herding cats, man. But we love cats. You know, it's the internet. But the Citadel Cafe just came back last night, actually. So I'm back in a weekly stance Wednesday nights on alphageekradio.com with the Citadel Cafe, talking sci-fi and fantasy fun. And we'll have to have you back on real soon.
Oh, definitely. If nothing else, maybe to talk a little bit about the Gotham series I'm doing a podcast on, because I think last time I was on, we talked Man of Steel, and that was a really good conversation. So
yeah, absolutely. For sure, man.
Definitely. Now comes the awkward point when we're almost at time, but not quite at time. So I'm not sure. Oh, okay. I got to hang up on you, Joel. Bye.
I like you a lot.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Hey You What's Up. Want to come on the show? Sign up at heyyouwhatsup.com/letmebeyou. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Bill Meeks, and you can find the show at heyyouwhatsup.com. Talk to you later.
I like you. I like you a lot.